Oh yeah. Man,
I'm yelling
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Chaotix podcast, where we are going to be discussing world building. We're going to be discussing our favorite worlds. We're going to be discussing topics, creativity, and all sorts of creative magic that we absolutely love about world building, whether it be from video games, media, books, movies, you name it. I am Rigo from WatchPony. You may know me better from that channel, but I'm also here with two other chum of chums. These are good friends of mine that I've been friends with for a long time now, and we're going to dive into the amazing world of what we love. So let's first introduce WyrmWurm here. Go ahead and introduce yourself, WyrmWurm, and tell everybody what you love, what kind of worlds you're into, and overall, let's get personal, guys. Let's do it.
So, since we're starting off personal, we're going to know each other on a deep level. Since we're doing that, you should know me by the name of John, which sometimes might get called instead of Worm. And so I just really like fantasy and in reading books, like sci-fi in my games. But there's no real genre I do or don't particularly like. Everything's good as long as it's done well. And there's a lot of things that are just great.
Nice. And we, of course, have here Crimson, a good friend of mine. We usually stream together. But today he's taking a break from video games and going to discuss a little bit about the worlds that he loves. Say what's up, dude. Introduce yourselves and what do you love?
What's up? I'm Crimson, aka people know me by Demon Gosler because that's what it usually is on other social medias or how to look me up. My favorite hobby is mostly gaming and live streaming, especially my co-workers that I know that I somehow forced them to stream with me.
Yes, in case you guys don't know, we have a live version of our podcast called the Chaotix Live, where it's usually a lot more chaotic than this. Like, this is pretty organized for a name of a podcast called Chaotix. But yeah, that was live on your channel, if I remember correctly, right? Demon Godslayer on Twitch?
Yes.
So-
it will be uploaded to the Chaotix. That way, like, you can get that fixed.
Yes.
So
we'll get that.
I would like to say that this is organized chaos at this point in this area.
This is.
This is.
All right, but anyways, yeah, we're here to, like I said, this is a different format of Chaotix because here we're talking about world building for the most part. We're going to be taking a world, like John, Worm, give me a world, any world.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing I have prompts for this. Let's see. Any particular thing you're looking for, like sci-fi, book, video game, movie?
I'm gonna hit you with a few bangers. All right.
Okay.
Give me a world that you are very familiar with that you could answer like within seconds.
Okay, let's say Warframe.
Warframe. Okay. Is there religion in Warframe?
That's a sci-fi. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there villains in Warframe?
Yes.
Can you name 3 villains from Warframe?
Crap.
What's up?
No, I was like, when I try to think about villains and Warframe's like, fuck, what's the names again?
Okay. So one of the villains would be Lieutenant Let Krill. Another one would be Alad V or Alad 5, depending on how you choose to say it. And the main one is Ballas.
Nice. And are there any heroes? Obviously.
Yeah.
Nice.
Everybody's a hero of their own story.
Nice. And what language do they speak?
English?
Okay. Yeah, see, that's kind of like what we're talking about. We're talking about our worlds, and we're going to dissect literally everything. We're going to talk about their cultures, their languages, the characters, their story arcs, their personalities, everything.
So-
we're going to get into the really juicy bits.
So I would argue that the language they speak in is a trick question because it's always going to be on the player reader's part. But usually things like this do have multiple, one or more. What's the word? It's a written language for it. Script.
Yeah,
guess.
script or scriptures.
Anyways, they do have like several translatable 100% written fictional languages for it.
Oh, like Simlish.
I don't know what that is, but yes, and that's what we're going to talk about.
English?
Crimson, do you know what Simlish is?
No, I don't.
You should know. You played The Sims. That's the language they speak in The Sims.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Simlish. It's a translated, real. It's a fictional language that fully can be translatable into English. You know, just like what I hear you describe the Warframe language.
Okay.
I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah, it's called Simlish.
Yeah. For Warframe, it's just several written languages, but no spoken languages. Or actually, there's a few. There's one or two spoken languages.
Yeah, I know this because a long time ago in the My Little Pony fandom, there used to be a series called My Little Sims, where this one dude, Yodhai Kiladai, animated some My Little Pony versions of The Sims, and they spoke with Simlish. And I know this because the dude who animated it is friends with the dude who actually writes in Simlish and wrote the script, gave it to the voice actors, and the voice actors had to say those specific words, that specific gibberish that the Sims speak, in order for it to be accurate Simlish. Which is why I was like, wow, that's above and beyond for a silly little cartoon about ponies playing Sims.
That kind of is. I never heard of that. Huh.
Yeah. But enough about me. Like, I want to hear about the worlds that you guys brought to the table. So, Worm, is Warframe the world you're bringing in to discuss? Or did you bring a different world to introduce us to?
Brought several.
Several. Okay, well, hit us with one and then we'll go to Crimson.
Since we're already here, we'll just continue with Warframe.
All right, cool, because I have no idea what Warframe is.
So, in the extremely far future where warring factions dominate planets of our solar system, scavenging for remains of a bygone era, both figuratively and literally, there's lots of bits of found family. There's different factions which you join up, and some of them are like just a person that you that leads this group, and you don't know too much about them, but as you progress with their group, you get to know them more, what they're trying to do and why they're doing it with their missions. And others is a group of people and why they're all doing that stuff, and they become found family, and it happens several times. It's, I guess, anti-AI a lot of times, because it's essentially what caused the story to happen.
Right, yeah.
Going into moderate spoilers, Crimson, if you care.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm way far behind, so
Okay. There is a group called the Sentients, which is literally machines that were sent to another galaxy far, far away for humanity to terraform for them. But at some point, they kind of became sentient and decided, I don't want to do this, and overthrew their original masters, the Orokin.
Oh.
And that caused them to have an anti-AI policy. So instead of having AI, they, I guess if I remember the term, it was cephalonize people, where they get turned essentially into an AI, but with human limitations.
Oh,
So you become digitized, essentially.
what? That
So-
sounds torturous.
And it was, for a lot of characters, it is.
Wow.
So yeah, it's usually used as punishment.
Wow. Okay, that is super dystopian. See, and this is why I fear AI or digital consciousness being like computerized one day.
Don't forget to tell thank you to your search engines.
Oh yes, all the time. Whenever I'm like, hey Google, play Ariana Grande. Oh crap, Google. Sorry, not now, Google. Not now. Not here, Google. Not in front of the people. I'm always like, thank you afterwards.
Good. Let's see. There's also a big theme of also being against, I won't say against, but too much genetic engineering, because on a similar end, they kind of just, I guess, instead of the theme against these particular topics, it's more of excess, but we'll go into that next. Genetic engineering, almost everything they touched, they modified to suit their needs.
Wow.
And it eventually came, have you guys heard of gray goo?
No.
No.
It's essentially when nanotech can self-replicate and just consumes an entire world into just the nanotech.
Okay.
What?
And so
just like brainlessly just consumes?
Yep. So like the entire world is just that thing. It's the point where it becomes gray and a blob.
What? Wow. And is that sentient or is that also AI created?
It doesn't happen here, but they sort of did it. But they did it with genetic engineering to a plague that can infest both machines and living things.
Oh, so it was a plague that got genetically modified. I mean, that makes sense. Plagues are programmed just out of their design to spread. So to have it be a gray matter to spread like a virus, that sounds pretty dang horrifying.
Yes, it is.
It is, yeah.
And again, just excess of, they could have portals to the sun, and the resources of the solar system was still not enough for them. That it essentially altogether led to their collapse. And we're kind of just in the aftermath of this once great empire, and everyone is trying to kill each other.
Oh my gosh.
So your main character isn't to bring peace, but to bring balance.
Wow. Is he also like trying to like this feels a lot like BioShock, but instead of an underground world where people get genetically modified, it sounds like all of space got BioShocked and was a dystopian fantasy until it didn't, and now, you know, we are like machines, like slaves.
I mean, it's not that bad for the most part, but it does suck a lot. Be alive there.
Wow. It also gives me, like, from your description, it gives me a lot of like cyberpunk vibes. I think especially that whole modifying thing. Like, are you able to modify your own body in that world?
Yes.
Yes. Short answer is yes.
Wow.
Depending on which faction you kind of more vibe with.
Okay.
There's the Corpus, which literally worship money.
Worship it like a god?
They'll do whatever they can for money, especially the board people, the board members.
Oh, really?
They have slaved entire planets and colonies. to work for them.
Dude, there's some people alive on this earth who would do that if they were to get ridiculously rich in return.
Yeah. But anyways, for them, in order to help their control over the people, they take their body parts and hold it ransom for money.
Wow.
And if you can't afford it, your head goes, and specifically just your brain goes in a jar, but your senses remain.
What? Oh my gosh.
It's a lot.
Yes.
It's like Futurama, but less funny. You know, at least in Futurama, you're just a decapitated head inside of a jar, you know, with liquid. But in that one, you're just a computer. Like, and I don't know why. I kind of have a low-key little bit of a fear of that. I have a fear of like waking up one day and I'm inside of a computer with no body, and now I'm stuck inside of a consciousness, or better yet, I'm attached to a webcam and I could see my body like on the floor in front of me. Like, for some reason that freaks me out. Specifically that. I don't know why it's so specific, but I've seen it in a couple of movies. Some of them are like parody movies, so it's supposed to be more like a joke. But for some reason that just like really rubs me the wrong way of being like, oh no, you're still alive, but you're not in your own body anymore. And you're not even like possessing another body, or you're not like a ghost and you're out of body. You're just inside of a machine. I think maybe it's because I work with computers all the time and I know how powerless they are, you know, when they're just by themselves. But I don't know, maybe I just saw something when I was a kid and it really traumatized me. Who knows?
It sounds like you need to be streaming less to me.
Honestly, yes. I spend way too much time on the computer. I feel like I feel like my body's already in this screen forever. Oh man. So, are there any funny characters in here? Because this sounds like a lot of gloom and doom. Where's something that would make me smile or laugh or something?
I can't. For me, I can't say there's any funny stuff in there. I mean, there's like a little side jokes, but
The funny stuff is going to make you cry at the same time.
Oh no. All right, hit
Like,
me. I'm ready to cry.
There's a silly bird that just kind of like does a typical bird brain talk, and he gives you submissions, and like he just sounds so like squawky. He's Bird 3, that's his name, and he just sounds funny and like kind of say some inane things. But the more you talk to him, he's just sad and like, yeah, I just want to be. I miss the time when I was just an animal and just existed.
So not even animals get to just be animals. Everything literally has like a utilitarian purpose.
Not everything. This just happens to be a character that happened to gain consciousness.
Oh, okay. Kind of like that butter robot that Rick made, you know?
Yes.
What is my purpose?
Sort of.
You pass. Like, that robot would be totally fine if that robot didn't have the consciousness to ask what my purpose is and then be completely disappointed by the results of that purpose.
Let's see, who is another funny character? Oh, okay. This isn't necessarily funny, but more fun. His name is Clem. All he says is Clem and Gurkata, which is his gun.
Oh
the gun types he uses. He's just a defect clone. That's all you can say. But he's very popular.
Wow. Okay. That's cool. I'll have to look that up. But this looks like a really interesting world. All right. I like me some good fantasy. I like me some fantasy. I like me some good sci-fi with a dystopian sort of like swing to it. Which is actually very common. For some reason, I feel it's getting even more common day by day. Like, so much sci-fi is becoming dystopian now. But it's really cool because it, like, makes the best out of the worst situation. Those are the ones that you find, like, a lot of the really hopeful stories. Either that or the most, like, ragtag sort of team. think like Borderlands, think Cyberpunk, think what was another good one? Like, do you think Fallout falls under that belt, or do you think maybe that's more like nuclear holocaust?
That's more like nuclear holocaust.
Yeah.
I mean, a nuclear holocaust is an apocalyptic situation.
Yeah, so that's why I was like thinking maybe it's considered the same, but it's much less space, more nuclear, more just.
Yeah, I would say it's like a Venn diagram. One's a subset of the other. All nuclear holocausts are probably going to be apocalyptic, but not all apocalypses are going to be nuclear holocausts.
Right, yeah. Plus, I'm looking for more like space themed ones, whereas a lot of the other ones are more like only on Earth. Yeah, if we're looking at other space themed properties, like think Star Trek, Star Wars, a lot of them have dystopian worlds, but it's not like dystopian all over the place.
I would say Star Trek is absolutely not dystopian. It's in fact the opposite.
Yeah, from what I see, Star Trek is always super clean and super like nice and fancy and everything.
Yeah, like they have enough resources to go to other worlds, to explore, to do what they want and need to.
Right, whereas Warframe, literally the power of the sun is not enough for these people. Like that's already concerning.
Yeah, they needed more Capri Sun.
Wow. Like there's so many stars in the universe. How the hell is that not enough?
Well, you have to travel to get to those stars. Ours happens to be close by.
Mhm.
Oh, makes sense. Oh man, and I bet they're gonna complain that in a couple billion years it's gonna go out and it's gonna supernova and black hole and yada yada.
I mean, I think I'll harness it first.
Yeah. Do you think we'll ever be able to harness the power of a black hole or a supernova?
Probably not.
I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say yes. All I know is that situation is way too beyond my understanding of science. Now, all I can say is maybe.
Has there ever been a sci-fi world where they actually did do that? Where they tried to harness the power of a black hole or supernova?
Yes. Off the top of my head, I know I've read stuff like that. I think Dyson spheres do that.
Really? Wow.
Need to. Okay. So wait, what was your question exactly so I can answer it more correctly?
Was there any world like in any sci-fi property that harnessed the power of a supernova or a black hole?
Okay. So yeah. So to start off, a Dyson sphere is a mega structure that is so incredibly large that it surrounds the sun.
Wow.
Yes. Anyways, and that's not even, and there are bigger structures than that, which you can travel your own solar system and not even realize you're inside this mega thing.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know what those are called, but yes.
Yeah. I don't know. When I think of structures that big, I am reminded of just once again how small we really are. Just like, like sometimes when you go to like either like to a diagram of space and you see all the planets next to each other and you see just how tiny Earth is compared to like Jupiter. Like, like, have you ever been to like a museum with like the planets and stuff like that before and seen like those kind of diagrams?
I'm pretty sure I have.
Yeah, or at least like in school when you're like learning about the planets and then like they show you a picture of the sun compared to the Earth and you see just how teeny tiny we are. And then you see the sun in the Milky Way galaxy. And then you see the Milky Way galaxy next to like, I forgot what it's called, Orion's Belt, something like that. and then that zooms out even further into like other array of galaxies, and then you're just yeah.
The best example I could think of that is the Men in Black movie.
Yeah, like that scene in Men in Black, yeah, where they're just zooming out like so far, and then you're just a reminder that we're all just like a tiny little speck of the universe, and it's just absurdly small. And to think you would have a structure that could literally like engulf us in a ring or in a sphere, like that just baffles my mind. Like that would be so crazy. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Crimson, what do you think? I mean, you're already familiar with this, but this world seems pretty dope, like not gonna lie. But then again, I also just really love sci-fi.
So
Oh
the best
no! In the Warframe world, there's a lot of things that go on. Even there's like some stuff that I don't even know yet, and I haven't continued on with yet. So it is out of my boundary right now.
Okay, so my blurb of what is Warframe is you play as a. Let's see. Let's see. What would be the best way to say it? You play as a child soldier with magical base abilities as a zombie ninja wizard that may or may not be also a cowboy, pirate, space, EMT.
Wow.
Or many other things for some reason.
This character sounds like they're either going through an identity crisis or they're just checking the checklist of every single kind of outlaw sort of job they could get. I mean, pirate, cowboy, ninja, that's like all just outlaw jobs.
I mean, EMT is not.
Okay, yes, EMT. Unless you're a rogue EMT.
No, not. I mean, depending on perspective.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. All right. And now a word from our sponsor. We don't have any sponsors. All right, we're back. Hello. Welcome. Crimson, you're up. What world do you want to bring to the table and show us today?
You had like a month.
I know I had a month. I had 2 months because we never started this. Okay. Let's see. How about the Resident Evil world?
Ooh, okay. Once again, I know a little bit about Resident Evil, but I don't know the entirety of it.
John, do you know anything about Resident Evil?
I know that the movies, animated movies, or the live action movies and the animated movies and the video games are like all separate things. And I know
Technically, yes, but the anime movies do connect to the games.
Okay, I thought they're like separate.
If it's separate, that'll be mostly live actions with the animation and the games.
Okay, I know a little bit, but I'm not the best at it.
Well, explain it from the start because that's my problem. I watch the live action movies and then I play the games and then it's something completely different and it confuses the hell out of me. So I did not know that at first.
All right, so like how the beginning is, you know how it is. People want to mess with the dead, or make vaccines for people to live longer, and something terribly has to go wrong. So what happens? Some person fucks up and destroys the whole thing.
Wow.
Next thing you know, there's a whole zombie apocalypse underground before you start going into the surface. So basically, how it does start out. It's like, yeah, with the live action and the games is very different. With live action, you get Alice as the main character that constantly dies.
Oh.
Yeah. So technically, you see her from 1 to 2 to movie part 2. After that, she does die in that one, and then she's reborn as a copy.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and that's a movie. So technically, we all see where she got her whole clone of armies of herself, and there's no original. I mean, technically, there is an original because it does say that the Alice from Part 1 and 2 was also a clone.
What?
Yeah, if you see the very last movie, Resident Evil, we get to see the original Alice that was carbonated for years. Mm-hmm.
Really?
That Alice wanted the clone Alice to live her life that she can have because the original Alice actually was dying and had a disease inside her that was killing her off.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And that clone essentially thought she was the original this whole time?
Yes.
Wow. Dang. Okay. And so, and like from what I remember, the big bad was the Umbrella Corporation, the ones that put humanity at risk by, creating the infection. But weren't they also the ones that were also reanimating the girl over and over?
Yep. And Bretta's the one that's like operating the whole thing. They're the ones that started the virus. They're the ones that started the monsters. And then what happens is that people tend to steal it and modify it themselves. And then, so on and so on. You see what happens when you mix the virus with other stuff.
Yeah, that's when we get the boss fights from the video games.
Yep. And hardly those boss fights ever come into the shows or to the movies.
Right, yeah. So now is that like for the most part the entire plot of the movie there?
Yes, for the movie, yes. As for the games, it's a whole different concept. So the way how it is in the games is that kind of same thing, someone fucked up, they destroyed the whole humanity. It does start off underground again, but people don't know that it's actually a zombie apocalypse that's happening in their whole town. And what usually happens is that there is usually two teams or two concept happening. So you actually play the game part 1 and 2. Those are actually happening at the same time during the whole outbreak.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And usually you get to see like all the characters that you have to remember for the whole thing. They'll change it up, but you'll see the more important like side side things saying you remember this from a different movie, the anime movies, or you remember one of its characters from the anime movies or from the game that will be in there.
Huh, okay. And all these reminders, they all plague the main dude who is Leon, right?
Yes, Leon is one of them.
He's one. And there's like how many core like protagonists in the games?
I'll say about
There's Claire Redfield.
yes, it's Claire, Chris, Leon, Jill, Sherry,
That's 5.
there is Barry. He comes out in the side game and anime movie.
All right, so that's
And-
6.
Does that include the guy from Village?
The guy from Village, no, that's a whole different thing. That I did not even know. That's actually a different thing. Like when I saw the gameplay for Resident Village, they play a whole different concepts pointed way before the Umbrella outbreak in Raccoon City.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So Resident Evil Village is a prequel to everything?
Technically, that's what the prequel, because they have Chris still in Umbrella.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Chris used to work for Umbrella, and now he's trying to, now he's going against Umbrella?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the other five? Like, why do they start saving the world?
As the other five, they come in during the whole raccoon outbreak, so they actually don't come in until like the game part 2 of the game.
Okay. Yeah, Leon and Jill, they were partners, right? Like on the police force or some sort of special force, right?
Yes.
Okay. And they, both just want to, save people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we have Chris, who used to be part of Umbrella. And then the other three also kind of like fell under the same group as like
from what I know,
Leon and Jill, essentially.
I imagine
Jill
essentially,
and Levi.
it was actually Claire that
Leon.
ended up being with Leon
Sorry,
during the
Leon.
outbreak.
Who's Levi?
Oh, he's from Attack on Titan.
Where was
isn't
Jill
he?
then?
yes,
Yes.
Levy.
Jill was with Chris.
Yeah, what the hell?
Oh,
and
okay.
they were teammates
yeah,
when
Leon.
the outbreak first happened, and they were first starting to team up.
Originally they were always teammates, but the thing is that they didn't know an outbreak was happening during Raccoon City because for their concept, they were in a mansion somewhere else, trying to find out what's the cause of all this, and it leads all the way into Umbrella, leading to the first bosses and zombie outbreaks.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So they didn't even know that there was an outbreak going on, and some people were just literally inside of a mansion the whole time. Dang.
Yep.
That is crazy. That is nuts.
It is.
I still have so many questions though. Like, isn't it like technically not zombies? Because I hear people get mad if people call them zombies.
At first, yes, it was zombies, but like I said, people tend to like sell the viruses or countries, or they'll sell them and then modify them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why you like play the games and you see all those other ones that aren't really zombies.
Right. They're like fierce, angry sort of things. Like they could still use weapons and shoot you.
Yes.
Yes. And do you think those are the scariest type of zombies?
Honestly, no, not really.
Where
It's more like you're still fighting humans.
well, what's the scariest type of zombie in your opinion?
Scariest type of zombie, I would say it has to be the leech zombie.
Leash zombies?
A leech.
What the hell is the leech?
So, like during the time, there is also Resident Evil 0. Like just like the part 1, 2, there is Resident Evil 0. That's a whole different concept. This one just comes out of nowhere and saying, "Oh look, we got another Resident Evil game called Resident Evil 0. This one has no connections and no concept between any other games. But the main co-star is Jill Valentine."
Oh, and they just use that to like sell the game.
Yeah.
Wow. That's funny. Okay.
It's because like with Resident Evil 0, they even started like they started out in a train. There was no outbreak, no nothing. Just people becoming leech zombies, meaning the leeches zombify the people.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And why are they the scariest zombie for you?
One, they're leeches. They could separate and attack you. They could like crawl all over you. They could sneak in like hide in little places and attack you out of nowhere.
Ooh. Okay. And two?
Two, they're hard to kill in the game. I mean, in Resident Evil 0, it's literally hard to kill anything in a game.
All right. Well, what was the scariest moment for you playing a Resident Evil game? Like in any of the games?
Any of the games. I'll say Resident Evil 1. No, 2. the original.
I hear from a lot of people that Resident Evil 2 is the scariest Resident Evil.
I mean, yeah, because they playing a remake. They haven't even played the original.
Oh, and like second to Resident Evil 2, the other one that people say is the scariest is Resident Evil 4, the original.
I mean, that's how you first interact with the chainsaw zombie, the one from Resident Evil 5 that you keep on dying from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I can't see that one scary. No.
I remember that game. I remember it was pretty good. I didn't remember it as being too scary though, but I think that's because I was already just stressed out from that game. Like Resident Evil games really stress me out. They really push my limits of patience for video games. But,
Tell me if you must. I've already lost.
Only if you what?
Tell me if you must. I've already lost.
Yeah. But yeah. So which one's the better Resident Evil story then for you, Crimson? Do you like more the movies or the games in terms of story?
In terms of story, I do like the live action movies because they actually have a simple concept and leads all the way back to Umbrella. From leaving Umbrella to survive in the outside world, going back to Umbrella to finish off the whole thing.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, I think it was Scarlett Johansson is the main person.
Oh yeah.
I think that's her name, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's her.
Yeah. As for the games, they're all over the place. I mean, you could watch the anime movies and they do connect to the games. Saying like the latest movie they had for Resident Evil was Resident Evil, I think, Damnation, the one we saw on Netflix.
The Netflix series?
Yeah. Before that one was Resident Evil 5. When they saved Jill, that's why Jill was acting all panicking, all the other stuff that she was ready to kill or on edge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely love the world of Resident Evil. It confuses me and I worry that I'll never get the story. But as long as I understand the base story, which is Umbrella created the T-virus or turned everybody into zombies. And we have a group of protagonists who are trying to bring them down. And all the while, there are some corrupted individuals who either are power hungry or money hungry. And they take that virus, alter it, and then they either spread it to some other place in the world or give it to themselves for an epic boss fight. And us, with barely any herbs and barely any bullets, have to kill them every time. Would you say that's pretty accurate?
Kinda, yeah.
All right, awesome. Then I am now fully educated in Resident Evil. All right.
That's good.
Ask me anything. Well, ask me anything about Resident Evil, and I will be sure to answer it.
Who is the main protagonist?
Jill Valentine.
Good question. There's multiple.
Leon, Chris, who else? Scarlett Johansson.
What is your world building? What are you bringing to the table?
All right. Well, I'm bringing to the table something that comes from a very unique source. Personally, I love worlds that are hidden in the background. One of my favorite examples is Five Nights at Freddy's. When the first game came out, people would read the posters that would occasionally change in the background. And then you would discover a story that's right behind it. And from that one game, a whole franchise just exploded. But we're not talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, no, because I would honestly speak on that for like 3 whole hours, and I don't want to become another FNAF YouTuber. Instead, I'm talking about TikTok. Have you guys dabbled into the tick of the talks?
No.
No? Crimson?
Nope.
Nope.
Really? I'm surprised on that part.
Yeah, no, it's because
TikToks?
yeah, TikTok's just not our generation. We're too old for that.
I mean, I use TikTok, but I haven't dabbled into it. I become a big guy into it. So no.
Yeah, but don't worry. I don't dabble into TikTok either, I'll be honest.
We
But-
tried for at least 1 or 2 years already.
But I did discover this from TikTok. This world actually came from TikTok, which is kind of amazing. I love that this world actually comes from TikTok, because with TikTok, you are very limited. Your videos have to be vertical, can't work around it. 2, your videos are typically less than a minute long. Some TikToks could go up to 3 minutes, but very rarely that's ever the case. And 3, if you were to ever create like a cohesive story, you have to somehow make it work even with random videos in the middle. You can't do a part 1, part 2, part 3 side by side, because the scroll is just never going to work. So with those challenges, I found this one animated channel. Damn it. Let me get a drink. I found this one animated channel on TikTok that has exploded to the point of where it's now on YouTube Shorts, where I could see it a lot easily now. And some people may actually even recognize it from Twitter or like tons of fan art, things like that. I am talking about the world of Chicken Nugget. Chicken Nugget is an animated series about a dog, a big yellow dog with big eyes, named Chicken Nugget, and a bunch of other animal friends. It's just a cute little cartoon for, TikTok humor. 1 second they're like, wanting to skate, and they see one of their friends skating, and then Chicken Nugget tries to skate but falls flat on his face, and then he explodes. It's like that kind of like really quick, just joke after joke sort of humor. So the characters consist of Chicken Nugget, the dog, big ears, really cute design. Second is Cheeseburger, a cat who wears a little cheeseburger hat. Very cute. Like, honestly, I definitely wish I could give you the visuals to help you. Actually, would it be cheating if I gave you guys the visuals?
Not really.
Yeah, let me open up the screen share for you guys, because you guys know what your guys' properties look like. But
right.
Trying to describe Chicken Nugget to you guys definitely sounds like I'm describing a madman, like a person who is blind, something like SpongeBob, something that can't really be described. All right, so Chicken Nuggets consists of Chicken Nugget, the dog. You see right there, big yellow, floofy ears sort of design. Really cutesy. We also have here the cat, like I told you, Cheeseburger. Very cute design. And very much shy, very much like an introvert sort of thing. The newest character that came after that is this little fox, Slushy, who is an ice fox. And then after that came this little dude, Sody Pop, a red panda. So in case you can't tell, they're all named after foods, which is really funny. But yeah, these cute little designs, these cute little characters are just like, they go through just the silliest little things. It's always a fun little sight that I always love watching. And then we have new characters such as Ice Cream, the little bunny rabbit who's secretly a demon, and this little dragon named French Fry. And French Fry is actually a wish-granting dragon. And yeah, that's it for the most part. Oh wait, except for this guy. This girl is a sheep dressed in wolf clothing instead of a wolf dressed in sheep clothing. I like that fun reverse. She's more on the goth side. She's more of a freak, and kind of like, I think, just a furry within a furry, honestly. That's the kind of vibes I get from her. But anyways, everybody here is such, fun designs, fun characters. And one thing that I find interesting is that this new character recently came out. This character is named Bezel. And Bezel is a clock time face guy. One, I love his design. I kind of wish I could be like, I kind of want to replace his clock face with the WatchPony logo and just make him WatchPony. Like, that would be pretty cool. But this guy is has dominion of all of time. And he has been here to warn both this one, the bunny and the dragon, because they're both immortal. Like I told you, the bunny's secretly a demon, and this French fry, the dragon, is a wish-granting deity. So they're both actually superpowered OP characters. And obviously this guy is, immortal as well because he controls time itself. And he comes to this world warning that Chicken Nugget here has been doing all sorts of kooky antics and all sorts of crazy little things in the animations. All of this stuff is actually connected because Chicken Nugget unknowingly is actually a god. And because Chicken Nugget is unaware about being a god, but can still do all sorts of crazy little things, like just moments of where he's like not knowing he's having so much power underneath his belt that he's worried that when he gets an existential crisis, he's going to crack all of reality and destroy the entire universe. And all of this is hidden inside random episodes that people just run into by simply watching on the regular basis.
This reminds me of the mystery of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Right, yes. I haven't seen that anime, but that's kind of the same concept. Essentially, a character has no idea that they're super powerful, and if they were to realize that, they would destroy all of humanity. So yeah, it just comes up with so many crazy things. And it's honestly an amazing show. So yeah, it's just fun little animals named after foods. And in the background, a story is unfolding and it's still going. So there's no telling what's going to happen because at this point in the story, Chicken Nugget still doesn't know he's a god. But he also is becoming more aware of the randomness that he is actually doing. The way that he could shapeshift, the way that he could make things explode, the way that, he could make things go left and right and up and down and whatever. Like all of these things are like explainable and are somehow now canon inside their own universe, even though they're impossible things.
Definitely sell me on it if I watched YouTube more.
Yeah, well, it's on YouTube Shorts, which is a lot easier than watching it on TikTok, to be honest, because TikTok doesn't have this easy of a format of where you could, look through. And even here, they even made some videos that have like compilations, like this one called The Birth of Ice Cream. Or this one, Why is this clock man so handsome? Or this one, Chicken Nugget Lore Part 1. Or this one, Sody Pop terrorizes everybody. And then, they have best ofs, the most scary, or the love story between French fry and ice cream, which is actually a really funny love story. These two used to be enemies, but their enemy rivalry made them fall in love with each other. So now they're both dating, which is kind of crazy because, again, this little rabbit is actually a demon, and this dragon-wishing deity is a wish-granting deity. So very heavenly versus something so hellish, which I think is very amazing. Oh, and then there's also this red squirrel. His name's Hot Sauce, and he's more of a side character.
Is he just really a red squirrel?
Yeah, he's really just a red squirrel. He's kind of like Posey from Tell Your Tale or from Make Your Mark. It's like that one background character that has to deal with everybody's nonsense. It's like the one normal person that keeps having to deal with everyone's antics.
They're the straight man.
Exactly, yes, they're the straight man. And there's also a lot of shipping moments, of course, obviously. And the shipping comes from like the community and stuff like that too. Like this cute little moment of where the sheep and the cat, are just having a nice moment. And then all of a sudden, oh, what's this? Oh, look at that. They're following her around. How adorable. And yeah, they have their little like flirty moments and things like that. Fans ship them. Will they, won't they? I don't know. It's fun little delightful moments like this. But then it's like epic moments like that where, we have like existential moments.
Feels just comforting. I don't know why I feel this burning inside, but doing casual life stuff makes it less bad.
All right, so yeah, we have those little videos there, but like, yeah, unfortunately, to see like the whole thing, you're gonna have to like really explore through all the videos, because randomly, I can't tell you which ones are which. Some of them are, meaningful, some of them are not. Some of them are relatable, like this one.
Whoa, that's a lot of manga.
Thrift shop find! It's the whole set!
Do you even like that series?
It's the whole set.
Yeah, I like that one. That was a good one. But yeah, that's what I am bringing to the table. It's probably one of the weirdest finds ever, but I absolutely love this series, and I can't wait to hear how the story is going to work out.
Nice.
Yes, a series that explains its fourth wall breaks. I guess this is one of those series that doesn't really have a villain, because it's leading up to or hinting towards Chicken Nugget himself becoming the villain later on. I mean, some people would like to say that Ice Cream is the villain, but he kind of becomes a hero afterwards. Wow.
I mean, I did question they're gonna add more characters later on.
I'm pretty sure they will, but for the most part, they just focus on the main core characters. I mean, like this guy, Sody Pop, has a confirmed parent that has made a few cameos. But yeah, everybody else doesn't really have any parents, doesn't have any family, or don't really live with anybody, things like that.
I mean, I heard the Slushy has a sister, cousin that keeps on going on dates or has boyfriends.
Oh no, that's a BF. That's just a best friend forever. I believe you're talking about about this one.
Slushy, I'd like you to meet my new boyfriend.
Oh, wait, what about...
Oh, don't get me started on him. We broke up. He was awful. I traded up.
I'm bored. I'm gonna go wait in the car.
He likes music. Slushy, I'd like...
Fun fact, that girl actually does end up finding somebody nice. This love story has a happy ending.
Okay, so, old BF didn't work out. But Slushy, this time, I did it. Meet my new boyfriend.
Ugh, him? I don't know, Milkshake. Maybe you should focus on just you for a little while, you know?
I know what you're thinking, but I've realized some things. Found what I'm really looking for. And he's it. He treats me right.
Yeah, good for you, Milkshake.
Okay, so, old BF did...
All right, so hopefully they work out. Hopefully they work out very well. I brought Chicken Nugget to you guys because I love finding lore, stories, and worlds in the most unlikely of places, which is this TikTok series that, like I told you, is completely random. You wouldn't even suspect that there's even hidden lore inside this story. I like that because it's the unexpected. I like that because it's funny. And I also like that because it brings something new and something that has potential. I think also because it's just not finished yet, and I still want to see what happens. But why is the reason you guys brought me, or why is it that you guys brought your worlds to the podcast? Like, what makes you really love these worlds so much?
I brought out Warframe first because it has very fun gameplay. Without that, you can't really play a game for so long. And as a 10-year-old game at this point that's online, it's a passion project by the developers. So they put a lot of effort into making sure it is the best quality that can be brought out to stand up and keep thriving, which it is very much. And that's pretty rare for a game of its age. The story continues to not disappoint at every turn. It just keeps on moving forward, and it always has a theme of hope at the end. As a person, I'm not super hopeful, but I really like to see other things just be better.
And what about you, Crimson? Why did you bring Resident Evil to the podcast?
I brought it up because one, you're going to continue on with the game series, and two, like Worm said, the game's been out for a long time, and they've been progressing and trying to like upgrade to new ways for people to entertain with Resident Evil, especially when they're transferring all of it over to VR.
Maybe it's just because I'm a magician, but I love it when one thing isn't how it appears. It isn't what it seems, and you end up, taking a closer look at everything now, because you'll never know if something hidden is behind it. That's why I love Chicken Nugget, me personally. So for you guys, is it more like because you see the ingenuity or you see the craftsmanship behind the stories? Like, is that what really like grabs you personally about these properties?
Story, yes, and the visuals are just great.
I'd say it's the excitement that I'm rating.
So it's the excitement, like the fun you get when watching the movies or playing the games, that really makes you personally just really fall in love with this series?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when you watch those stuff that like take long time to get to a certain point, that's when you start losing interest. Like, is it getting to the point already? Nope. You'll see that a few more movies or a few more shows, like Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z is just what's the where you run in place. It's a treadmill. It's essentially a never-ending treadmill.
Wow.
It is, and they're still continuing on with it.
Yeah, like he goes, no matter how high the stakes go, the numbers go up, but things go almost exactly the same.
Wow.
Like, I think they already announced he's gonna have another final transformation. This is gonna be the last one.
Oh,
didn't they say that there was going to be a last one several times? Like Hayami keeps on retiring every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was literally about to say that.
But that's because like from where they're going at, they're going to the Dragon Ball. What was it? Dragon Ball Super Arc.
Is it Dragon Ball Super Ultra?
No, they're going with the Arc story. So this one's gonna be with Goku in a prison.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, this is going to be a turn tide where you actually are going to see the latest characters, or not the latest characters, the latest forms for everyone. So you will see like the latest movie from Gohan turning beast mode. You'll see him in that one. You'll see Frieza Black that everyone will want to see. You'll be seeing Vegeta with purple Super Saiyan hair, his Ultra Ego, okay. And a lot more. And this one does go with a dark story where Goku oversees himself and he was captured for going against the gods.
Wow.
So don't quote me on this, but if I remember correctly, whenever like Dragon Ball stuff comes out, the cartel stops or lowers its activity for like 2 to 3 days.
Both the cartel and the Japanese mafia, they both lower their business during that time.
They're busy watching, getting hyped up.
I mean, it's like saying how they were doing Dragon Ball Super, or no, Dragon Ball Heroes. And that one's a whole different concept.
Mm-hmm.
That's an arc story.
So what do you mean by an arc story? Like,
so arc stories are like based off of other stories or storylines. Saying an arc story could be a better one where it's a dark turn events with the main character being imprisoned, killed, or turned evil.
Okay, so it sounds more like a side story rather than like when you say like an arc, like there's an entire process to say like a character's growth, like an entire theme to the point. So like it'll be like a more of a main storyline thing. This sounds more of a side story.
Kind of, yeah. And they're make this one to like as they quote and say, the final storyline to Dragon Ball.
For now.
That's where they're gonna have his final form.
For now.
Well, hey, I mean, like, to be fair, they retired Ash Ketchum finally, so they are able to give their main characters a rest. It's all a matter of when.
I mean, it took them 20 years of being a 10-year-old to be the champion.
Yes, and normally when things live to be 20 years and infinitely not age, we usually expect them to last forever and ever. You know, like The Simpsons or South Park. But
I mean, how'd you guys feel about the reboot of Pokemon?
I still haven't seen it yet, so I don't have a take on it just yet.
I think I stopped watching Pokemon around the Hoenn region.
Yeah, so
For
I don't have a
me,
word in it.
I stopped when they finished the original Pokemon, and then they did a reboot.
Oh,
I mean, every region is slightly a reboot.
No, but this one was actually a reboot because it shows Ash meeting Pikachu again.
oh,
Yeah, because
you're talking about the recent one that just came out. No, not the one that just came out, but the recent one of where Ash finally got to become a Pokemon Master, right?
Yeah.
That one. Okay, yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I guess I don't.
It's the one that has a very like distinct art style for Ash. He looks very childish, I think. Like,
Yeah, this one they made him younger and shorter. And this one, all the friends that I usually saw over the years are just side characters that don't pop up.
they pop up, but
Huh.
like
Oh,
only
say-
once.
Yes, they pop up, but not like for the whole thing.
Huh.
As she makes a new friend that's a boy, and they go on adventures for the whole thing. Especially when that boy captures legendary Pokemons.
Oh, I think I've seen a little bit of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he cast like a Suicune on accident.
he did. I'm like, oh my god. And then it changed the whole storyline between like Ash's adventures. So Ash never like encountered any of these legendaries before.
Huh.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just so used to him moving on to another region, dropping everything off with Professor Oak that I just assumed it was that again.
No, it's a whole like reboot on everything.
Yep. And as soon as that
Because
happens,
if they had to remake the whole part where Pikachu save Ash again, then it's like, what the fuck?
and then and then Ash finally became a Pokemon Master, and now they're moving on with new main characters now. They retired Ash from the Pokemon anime after so long.
He is what every company wants, like an intro employee with 20 years of experience at the age of 10.
Yep. So it is possible. It is possible for there to be endings. Like, even for however long it is. In fact, this is the era of retirement for a lot of people. Are you guys familiar with game theory, MatPat, those film theory and all those videos?
I do not, but I have seen like over the past couple of weeks, a large number of YouTubers have been retiring.
He is the latest one that just dropped his video saying that he's retiring from YouTube.
Yeah. I saw that
I heard
notification
about
today.
that. Weimu just came out and told me that MatPat is retiring.
Yep, he's gonna.
Oh, shit. My bad.
Whoa! What happened? Were you not supposed to say that out loud?
No, because when told me about it, I just repeated it.
Yeah, but no. I remember Tom Scott. He made a big old video announcing his retirement. MatPat, he's retiring. Rec Rio, they put out an image saying that they're retiring the channel. Like, it's happening to a lot of YouTubers now.
A lot of people are retiring.
There's one that's retired from bullying. I think his name was Joe Cat or something.
Joe Cat?
I think it's either the D&D and or Monster Hunters content, possibly both.
I am gonna miss MatPat though, because he is one of the few YouTubers that that never really got into any serious drama and managed to build quite the empire for a humble channel that just made videos that did also inspire a little bit of WatchPony when I was, making videos. Really did a good job. Like, not gonna lie, he ran a channel like a champ. He managed to get like 4 channels in total. They all became really trendy and successful in their own niches. Got a really big staff full of writers, fellow people, and other staff to help him both in both in his home state and in California, and managed to do quite a few achievements. The dude got to host the streamies. He got to do successful charity runs, and he got to star in a few Broadway plays as well. And obviously, he got to be in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie and became one of the biggest things in that movie.
Yep.
So yeah, hats off to you, MatPat. You will be missed, but enjoy your retirement, because that ought to be fun.
YouTubers are going away. What's going to happen to us?
Well, we need to pick up the torch for them. We need to pick up the slack, pick up where they left off. We're going to become the next game theorists, guys. We're called world theorists. That's what our new dynamic is. That's our new motto.
That's
okay,
our motto.
I got a world theory for you.
All right.
Do we exist?
Do we exist? No, we do not. Everything is a lie. Everything that we think is real is an illusion, and we are all living in a simulation just like the Matrix, and we're all just waiting to wake up. I predict we're going to wake up in an embryo sac just like Rick and Morty. That's my theory, but it's just a theory. A world theory. Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, is it just me or is that lava lamp looking a little flat? There's a story of a guy that got knocked out, and when he was unconscious and I guess in a coma or something, I'm not remember if he was just unconscious for like an hour or if he was in a coma for like 2 years. I don't remember which. During this time, he lived an entire life. He had a family. He grew up. He grew up to be older than he was because this person was like in high school. And yeah, he grew up to be like in his 30s or 40s. And towards the end, he was starting to notice some discrepancies in the world that he was living in. Like things weren't starting to seem real. And at the end, like the biggest thing he noticed is the lava lamp was looking 2D in his 3D world.
Oh.
So, and that's like around the time he woke up, and his entire life that he's lived with his children and his family just became a dream.
Wow. Yeah. Now that's when we reach some like real, like, actually funny enough, Rick and Morty plays with this concept so many times. They make
Roy.
Video games of Roy, simulations of like, life passing bys. That one episode where you could literally erase a memory from your whole brain and then like put it in a little catalog so you could forget about it forever.
I mean, compare to them, aren't they like what, gods now?
They're the ones who are literally questioning, or no, they're the ones shouting from the skies above that God's not real.
I mean, there's that one episode where Rick killed Zeus, and he said that him and Summer were killing the Christian God as just one of their side adventures.
Right. So gods exist, but only when it's convenient for them.
I think that was a change in the writers after what's his name? Rolling what's his name?
something like that. But yeah, there was
Josh Rowling.
because
When Josh Rowling left.
yeah, early
Around that
Rick and
time.
Morty really did not like putting any religion, anything in it. But yeah, later Rick and Morty did include hell. Like I remember there was literally an episode that took place in hell. So like,
Yeah, you don't follow into demon to another location. It's always hell.
well, either way, we definitely spoke the living crap out of all of those worlds. So I think now's probably a good time to wrap it up. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been episode 1, hopefully, by the time this comes out. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This was the KX podcast. We're going to be doing some more world building. If you want some worlds that you want us to dissect, let us know.
Thank you guys for watching. It is WatchPony, WyrmWurm, and Solstice. We'll see you guys on next recording live stream. What was it? Recording?
Good job. Very good job. Yeah. See?
Smasher's here to help. Ain't that right, boy?
No.
Peace out, y'all.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you later.
Oh, yeah. Cheers.
I'm yelling.
Shut up.